Hey, it's Jill. This video is going to be another reading vlog, and I'm going to be reading The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. This is my first Mariana Zapata book. I mentioned in my last vlog that I was, so I was really excited to read this because I've heard that she's really good. And as a warning, this video will have spoilers from here on out, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do book content as well as vlogs, and also I have this filter on right now. It's called like the daylight filter. It kind of makes things a little bit more warm, so let me know if you like that or not. I think I like it, but I'm not exactly sure, so let me know in a comment down below. So based off the blurb here, this is about a personal assistant named Vanessa, and she is a personal assistant for an NFL player. She decides to quit, and then later he comes back and begs for her to work for him again, and she's like really confused. But so far not much has really happened. She's trying to quit. He's like very distant, like he doesn't even really talk to her. She said how she would be like, oh, how's your day, how are you, and he would literally just not answer her. He's like I'm not really liking him so far. The way this man just grunts whenever she says something is just so irritating to me. I could not imagine having to deal with that. Like, that's just so rude. I'm really hoping that this doesn't turn into a I liked you so much that I couldn't be with you trope from his side, because that trope just bothers me so much. Okay, Vanessa, having a girl boss moment here. She's just like walking out during, I don't even think she's officially done yet, but she walked out of the house while his manager and him were talking crap behind her back, saying that she's like a dinner roll and that she's not easy on the eyes and stuff like that. So then she just leaves, and then as she leaves, she says to Aiden, I deserve better, a-hole, and then gives him the finger. Okay, so she's getting back from a run. This is like 4 weeks later after she just left. She went for a run and is getting back to her apartment, and she sees like a shadowy man sitting at the stairs, and she's like, who is it? Like, what's going on here? And it's definitely going to be Aiden, and this is when he's going to beg her to come back to work for him. It's like oddly satisfying hearing him like beg for her to come back, because she just keeps saying no and like shutting him down, and he's like, why not? Like, come back. I need you to come back, or I want you to come back. Go away. Okay, so he came back to her apartment again a few days later and asked for her to come back again. And she's like, how much more clear can I make this? Like, I don't want to work for you. And he says, I still want you to come back. Like, you didn't get on my nerves, as if that's a compliment. She said, you didn't even care that I was there to begin with. You don't even know me. And he goes, I know you. No, you don't. You literally never talked to her. Excuse me? Is this guy insane? He says that he didn't get a work visa renewed. He says, I don't want to get another visa. And she's like, okay, well then I guess you can marry someone to like figure that out. Like, that's your problem. And then he goes, marry me. I'm really hoping that this doesn't turn into the fake dating or fake marriage trope. So this guy finally apologizes to her for being an a-hole, and then he says, I'll pay you to marry me. I'll pay off your student loans and buy you a house. I really didn't want this to turn into like a fake relationship trope. I did not think that's what it was going to be. Okay, so a little update. They are going to get married. There's a few conditions. They can't be in a relationship outside of the marriage for like obvious reasons if someone like found them. They actually didn't say that for that reason, but I'm assuming that's why. And then what was the other thing? She said she doesn't want to be his like assistant anymore. She just wants to not do any of that stuff because it was a lot of work. And so then he's still gonna have to hire another assistant, I guess, which I thought that's what he was trying to get her back for, but I guess he just wanted her for the whole marriage thing. But I guess she's gonna agree to it, and they're gonna get married in the next few months. So she's moving into his house now. It's like the Friday or whatever, and he got her like all new furniture, and that was like similar to her apartment one, but like a little bit nicer. And why do I think that's so nice? Like, he made the point to like notice what furniture she had and then just like bought her nice new ones. I wasn't super happy about the whole like fake marriage thing happening, but I feel like I'm going to actually really like it. So they went to Vegas to get eloped, and she's so nervous. She literally feels like she's gonna throw up all the time. And he called her his girl to the cafe or the coffee shop worker at the airport, and she was like, that's weird. And he's starting to notice the things that she does, and like she's like, well, you haven't done this and this since you got here, like, are you okay? He noticed her. Oh my gosh, literally bare minimum. I totally didn't even realize that they're gonna have to kiss. I feel like they're gonna hate this. I feel like they have very little at this point chemistry, because I feel like he just doesn't really talk to her, and it's kind of weird. It's the next day now, and she was wandering around Las Vegas for a little bit, and then he like called her trying to find her, being like, oh, you have to be careful, Las Vegas is kind of sketchy. It's cute because I can kind of start seeing how he actually cares about her, and it's very subtle, but it's definitely there. Okay, kind of cute. She's going to go for a run, and he's like, it's a little bit late, it's getting dark out. And then she's like, no, it's okay, like I'm going to be fine. And then he goes and gets his running stuff and he's gonna go with her, even though he's not supposed to be doing cardio because he's like a big football guy and he's supposed to be like lifting weights and stuff and not supposed to be doing cardio where he could like lose weight. So I think she's kind of noticing too that he's acting a little bit differently around her. Okay, cute. He just smiled for like the first time and she's thinking to herself, the man I'd seen kind of sort of maybe smile a couple of times is now smiling at her. So it's his bye week, so he's not playing any games, and he was gonna go with Vanessa to meet her mom for her mom's birthday, and that's when they were gonna tell the mom like, oh, we're married, whatever. And then he says literally 5 minutes before he was supposed to leave with her, he's not home yet, and he goes, I'm not going to make it, and Leslie's coming into town, whoever the heck that is. She's thinking to herself, I was mad at myself for getting a little tiny bit excited because she's never taken anyone with her to meet her mom before. Oh, maybe will he like go and surprise her there? And I'm back onto chapter 15, and I seriously, every prediction that I've had about this book, I've been wrong. I'm just not good at predicting in this one, I guess. It's literally page 254 and they haven't even like, I guess they kissed at the wedding, but they haven't kissed. They haven't like held hands or anything like that really. I put sunscreen on my face and I just realized that I feel like I'm like a little bit light compared to my neck. That's not cute. Sorry. So she got in a fight with her sister at home and the sister's husband like grabbed her wrist and left a bruise on it, and Aiden saw that and was like, what the heck happened to your wrist? And then he's like holding her hand and it's like kind of cute. He wants to go drive to the house and like confront the sister's husband that like hurt her. He's like so protective over her now and so cute. It's okay, Cookie. He just invited her to one of his games. She was like, was I imagining this? Was he really inviting me to one of his games for the first time in history of the universe? And she says, I've gone to a few of your games. And he replied, you've met me after a game 5 times. And she's like to herself, he remembered that. He actually like remembers the small things. I am obsessed with them together. They're so cute. It's so cute just seeing all like the little things that happen between them until they're actually together. They're at a lawyer's office, I think, and there's a really big storm and they're in the elevator. So she has claustrophobia, I'm pretty sure. Then the lights go out, the power goes out, and she's freaking out inside. She's like, I can't breathe, like this is like freaking her out, and he can tell and he's trying to calm her down and everything. I think this is like the first time he actually touches her and like tries while he's trying to calm her down. Literally page like almost 300. So it's actually not claustrophobia, she's afraid of the dark because when she was little her sisters locked her in a closet for 2 days straight with like barely any food, and that's why she like almost has a panic attack. Stop! They unlocked the door and made fun of me for being a baby and peeing on myself. That's so sad. They're out of the elevator now and they just held hands for the first time. They currently have separate rooms and there was a storm that went on and she was scared because I think the power went out. No, the power definitely went out because she was using her flashlight, and he woke up and like came into the room to make sure that she was okay because he knows about her phobia of the dark. He says, I don't have time to bother trying to have a relationship and I don't like most people. And then she says, you like me a little, and he repeats, a little. So cute. She just admitted to herself that she might be in love with him, and because he just went to the sister's husband who gave her the bruise on her wrist, and he said, don't ever touch my wife again. Wait, what did he say? Touch my wife again and I'll break every bone in your goddamn body. And she was like, what the heck? It's Christmas time and Zach's leaving the house. Zach's his roommate, by the way. Well, their roommate now. So it's going to be her and Aiden alone during Christmas time, and I think something's probably going to happen. Stop, she got him a dog. What? Where did that come from? Like, did he even say he likes dogs? Oh, wait. Yeah, I think he said he always wanted a dog, right? At the start. They're really opening up to each other here. This is like Christmas Eve, and she's talking about how her sister literally, yeah, her sister hit her with a car. How her sister treated her horribly, and her mom and her other siblings didn't really do anything, and his grandma and grandpa pretty much raised him, and he didn't have a good relationship with his father. It's kind of funny. Oh my gosh, I just lost my page. But it's funny because she's like kind of into him now, and she's admitted to herself that she likes him and everything. So she's getting a little bit nervous around him and doing things that she's like, oh, that was cringe. Like, why did I do that? She's waiting in the family room for him, like where all the family of players wait. And it was so long until he came out, and then he finally came out, and she was like worried because they just had a big L. she was worried he was gonna be like really upset with her or mad, and then he wasn't. Well, he probably was mad, but he ended up kissing her like for the first time, page 423, like other than at their wedding, which was like not really real. He like kisses her and she's like, oh, what the heck, like I'm shocked this is happening. She's at this book convention and she is saying how not many people are stopping at her booth to talk to her or whatever and see her designs and everything. And then she says how she notices a bunch of women like looking somewhere, and is it gonna be him? Is he gonna show up at her booth? Because he's like, well, if no one shows up then they're stupid and they don't understand how great you are, and then he's gonna be the one to like show up. Stop, he's just getting so, oh my god, he's so cute. So the people at the booth beside her, they're like, who is that? And then the guy, one of the like male models for the book cover, was like, is that the Wall of Winnipeg? Like that's Aiden Graves, isn't it? And then the author was like, oh, are you writing a book about him? And then he comes up without her like realizing it and he says, no, she's mine. Oh no, now she's thinking about how she's gonna have to like pretend this whole time. She's like, it's useless to have hope about this relationship. How could I miss something that I still had? She's thinking to herself, the only thing I was aware of was that I wanted him to have no idea how much it meant. Sorry, that's not what I was gonna read. She's thinking to herself, in that moment, I knew this unrequited love that I had for Aiden was going to end up in a heartbreak. He's like hyping her up to do this marathon that she's been working on for like months and months to train for. And she's like, I've got this. He says, that's my girl. She's like, I am. And he replies, the only one. He was at the end of the finish line after she finished the marathon. She's like, oh my god, you're here, like what the heck? And because he was gone for Colorado for 2 months. I don't really know why. Football? Okay, so before she ran the marathon, she's like, can I tell you something? And he's like, just tell me after the marathon. Because she's saying, well, I need to tell you now because I think I'm going to die. And she was going to tell him that she loves him, and then she's like, okay, I'll just tell you after then. And then now that they're home, he's like, okay, so like what were you going to tell me? Like what was it going to be? And she's like, ah, shit. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. So the epilogue was it was like 5 years later, so they didn't technically have to be together anymore, but obviously they were. And they have 2 boys now, and Aiden was playing like the biggest game, like the finals, where he would like get a ring finally, because that's what he wanted before he retired. This was going to be his last season of football, so then he got the ring, of course. This was such a good book, and I was watching a video about Mariana Zapata books, and she has one called Hands Down, and that one's about Zach, like the roommate in this book. So I think I want to read that one next by her, but she doesn't really have many of them at Indigo in the actual store, at least at my Indigo near me. And I really want to read some more of hers because I liked it so much. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the slow burn aspect of it, because I feel like if it's just like drawn out for so long, because I was watching a reading vlog of From Lukov with Love, and it was like page 400 until they finally even kissed, which is similar to this one. And I'm like, do I really want to wait that long for the couple to finally get together? So I wasn't sure, but I was definitely impressed, and I want to read so many more books from her. But that is the end of this reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.